Hey, so hi. So, what are we doing on Friday?
Yes.
Yes, we are. What are we doing tomorrow?
Something.
What are we doing today?
Review.
Yeah.
Wrong a bottle cap. I don't know.
All right. So, what we are going, oh, excuse me, what we're going to do is we're going to go through this review together. Okay. Then afterwards, I'm going to send it off to you all to work on. Let's not do that.
Let's not do. You gotta blow it.
Okay. So, any questions before we get started? It's ice cream. I think it's orange juice, maybe. Okay, so this is going to have 20 questions. It'll look pretty much like your test will. The questions will be slightly different, but you know how it works in this class. You have a little practice version. You can see what you're going to make on the test. We know what we need to hit tomorrow. So we're going to go through these together and work on them, which actually would make, I'll leave it back. If we're going through them together, it won't be quite as accurate, but we're going to look at them together. Then you're going to do them on your own. Yeah. Okay. So let's make sure we've got our phones and headphones put away and we're ready to go. And yeah.
Is it okay if I just leave it laying right here? Or do I need to?
As long as you don't touch it, it's okay. Well, it's not a distraction.
I'll put it all back here if I can't tell. That's not good. That must have been different. I thought we were in winter. It's only first. Trust me, it's a long day. I know.
Okay.
Trust me, I know.
All right. So there are 5 sections to this test. Sorry, 6 sections to this test. They're broken up. They're just 20 questions in total, just like your test would normally be. Section 1 is over lesson 1, which I'm sure you all definitely have studied and remember well. The relations of various angle pairs. So, can you all see that up there on the board? So, to yourselves, I want you to take a look at that and think, oh, what kind of angle pair is that?
Not much. Throw it down a little bit.
Well,
Well, we should know what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. We were working on this last time I was here. I mean, I was about to say, it's pretty good.
Break down, but he didn't better.
Is it on our computer?
not yet. All right, so let's take a look at angle 1 and angle 2 up there in blue. Now, if we take a look, we usually like to look and see, are they same side or alternate sides? They're both on the right side of that transversal line, so they're same side. Now, are they interior or exterior? We got one of both. So therefore, even just using process of elimination, we can't not use the first 3 because they either say interior or exterior. So if it's both, can't be just one. Which leaves which one?
Corresponding.
Yeah.
I like how Tucker just yells at the answer the first thing he sees it. You don't get in some roll with
All right, question 2. Same side or alternate sides? Alternate. Matthew rules out half of them. Are they interior or exterior? Yeah, they're on the outside of parallel lines. Alternate exterior.
We were talking
Also,
about this last time.
I gave you all a little blurry cheat sheet, so it's kind of like I'm giving you answers, but it's almost impossible to read, so it's not really like I'm helping you. All right, Miss King, are those same side or alternate? Yeah, same side. Now, are those interior or exterior? Now, if you found those were same side, the method kind of helps you out there.
How come that's not corresponding?
Well,
Oh, I see.
they're both on the outside, so they're exterior. All right, 4. Evan, what do you think? Same side interior, good.
Well, he decided to leave us, so remember that.
Oh.
Maybe I kicked him out of the class, Brian.
Huh?
Maybe I kicked him out.
Oh, that's just me.
Well, yeah. All right, Mason, what about this one? What you got?
We kick him out of his own class.
Alternate exterior.
Oh, sorry. I actually had. Yeah. What'd you say, Mason?
Alternate interior.
Yeah. They're alternate sides of the transversal. They're interior. Boom. That's got the first
said
5
exterior
done.
first.
So we're 4th of the way.
Hey, dude, I heard you. That's how you practice.
All right. So section 2 is about comparing the angle measures of these. So number 6 says if the measure of angle 1 right here is 68 degrees, what's the measure of angle 2?
68.
69.
69. What?
Yeah.
We have some very mature individuals in this class. Huh? Look at you two.
What are you talking, huh?
These two here in the front being special. All right, so now if for some reason you can't figure out on your own, hey, if you can't think to yourself, hey, I know what that is right there. Remember, you can fill out the entire diagram and look where it needs to go. Huh? And the way to do that is say if this is 68 degrees, well, these two have to add to 180. 180 minus 68 is 112. So that'd be 68, 112, 112, 68, 112. Sorry, 68, 112. Yeah. Fill it out. If you need help with that, we can help you with that. Again, this first part of what we're doing today, I'm just kind of going through these, I guess, at a faster pace than I would normally like to. That way, I can make sure you have time to work on these on your own. That way, we can help you if you actually have questions. Yes,
So are we gonna do this today or are we gonna do this?
today. We're
Well,
doing something
taking
different tomorrow.
notes. What's the notes? My bad.
Oh, that is more for what we're doing in the next few sections. These first two are more, you can probably look at them and figure it out pretty easily most of the
I
time.
was about to say,
Let's scribble something down real quick. Draw me a beautiful picture so you can go and say.
let's show some flowers.
You'd better be fast because I don't want you missing the next part. So quickly. All right, next question. If the measure of angle 1 is 123 degrees, what's the measure of angle 4? Huh? Yeah, they're alternate exterior angles, so they're congruent. Yeah. Again, if you have trouble, fill it out.
She's worth 1,000 words.
Now, if the measure of angle 2 is 53 degrees, which is this one down here, what is the measure of angle 7, which is this one up here?
What?
Elijah.
Measure of angle 2 is.
Hang on, I can't hear Elijah. What?
And 53 is
Are they the same?
well, they ain't the same number, but they're the same.
Are you sure about that? See, those two angles are same side exterior angles. And what do we say about same side angles?
They're opposite numbers, or same side numbers.
Same side starts with the letter. And what else starts with S?
Same.
Supplementary.
Supplementary.
Yeah, so with these, they're either going to be congruent, which is equal, or supplementary, which means they add up to 180 degrees. Yes. The exception is corresponding, but yeah. So, if they're supplementary, and angle 2 is 53 degrees, what do you think angle 7 is going to be? He's got this. There you go.
How did you yell that one?
So 180 minus 53 would give us 127. So we're good. All right, Brad, you seem pretty confident. So what about this one? If angle 1 is 110 degrees, what's angle 2?
Angle 1 is 110?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on a minute. That's 8 minus 1. But they said it.
Anybody disagree with
How
that?
do you get that?
Huh?
How do you get that?
They're same side interior angles, so
Yeah,
they're
but how do you get it?
So take 180 degrees, which is how many of these have to add up to, and subtract by 110. 180 minus 110 is 70.
Well, why would you do that?
Because these two should add up to 180 degrees in total.
Why do you want the answer?
So we can get past that.
Why is your
Why
math down?
Kelly?
Because I can't breathe.
Well, I don't care. Suffocate. Get back up over the middle.
Whoa.
If I have to
We're
breathe through
calling
this, you
people
can
out
breathe through
here.
that.
I mean, if we're calling people out, I mean, sure you got on those.
I
Sure you
did
got
have
on
one of
the
those.
youth, man.
I can't get onto her. She'd hurt me.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, you're nice. You wouldn't hurt me. All right, so angle 1, angle 2, they're supplementary because they're same side angles, which means they add to 180 degrees. That's why we do 180 minus the 110.
When did you leave? When did you leave?
They're calling you out today, Miss King. They're calling you out today. All right,
Well, they
so.
missed me yesterday.
Huh?
A couple of them told me they missed me yesterday.
Aw. They don't miss me when I'm gone. All right, so Johnny, up here, number 10. What is the measure of angle B? I gave you lots of choices here. There's a lot of information up there.
Got it.
Me too.
Smart.
Well, it made the name of the thing went out there. Or go with you.
Don't pay attention to the markings, really.
I decided not to wear it.
What do you think the answer is?
No, why are you doing that?
Find your supplementary line.
Take one for the team. Hey, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, everybody all together. If we look at this, angle B, how are we going to find that answer? Brian, I saw your hand first.
Okay. So B and the 135 is the same angle.
Why?
Okay. Because they're across from one another.
They're alternate.
Well, yeah, because they're alternate interior. But anyway, but if you take them two and put them down here, it's the same angle. So they and yeah. So what is it?
So if you know that B and that 135 are alternate interior angles, yeah, they're 135. If you don't know that, well, we have this 45-degree angle beside of it, right? So we could do 180 minus 45, which is, I'll give it to you. And yes, technically, Johnny, you could have looked at the markings, but that's not always going to be there. But yeah, sometimes I like to leave those little hints for you all, so you didn't notice that so good. But I also want to make sure you all know how to do the math part too. All right, so section 3. This is when we get to the last 2 lessons we did.
Last of Us, I love that game. That game is pretty good.
So if side AD is 9 long, what is BC? AD is the top side, BD is the bottom side. Sorry, BC is the bottom side. So Grayson says 18. What do you all think?
I think it's 9.
Why would it be 9?
It's 9.
BC and AD.
BC stands for Brandon Cameron. It does.
How do we know that though?
Okay, so because it's a equilateral. No, it's a parallelogram.
Parallel.
So all lines are parallel, which means.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so parallelograms have this little property where opposite sides are congruent. So if this is 9, that has to be 9.
You're on 11, Tucker.
Oh, I thought you said AB. Wow.
Sorry,
That makes sense. My bad.
AD is 9, BC is what we're looking for.
I thought you said AB and then ABC.
I apologize.
I see. So you read your question.
So, what's the measure of angle C? Sorry, Andrew. How do you know that? Put your head down, Grayson.
Why it's confused.
Just put your head down, okay?
What did he say?
So, Andrew, what is it?
You took my pencil.
All right, so Andrew, why is it 65 again? Are you trying to say because they're opposite angles? Yeah. Good. Angle A is the only measure we have, and it's right across from C. In parallelograms, opposite angles are always the same. If you know that, then 65 degrees is going to be your answer. There's not any math there, just recognize it's the same. Done. I would suggest turning up the AC, but that thing hasn't worked for a while. It's not even, no, technically, no, if it was actually working, you'd hear a fan. There's no fan going at all.
You can tell me what D and B is.
It just turns on right now.
Well, actually, we have one right here for that. So, number 13, we are looking for the measure of angle Z. The only measure we're given is so far is B. So I want you all to take a second to yourselves.
72.
Get your mask up.
That doesn't mean that 72.
Over the nose.
Hey, hit him with 6
So,
feet.
on your own, I want you all to take a look at that up here and try and figure out angle Z. So, think to yourselves. See if you can get it.
How would I heard
It's angle C, right?
Angle Z.
Z, okay.
Well,
You just see
Uh, technically speaking, that's just a measure of Z because that's angle D. But either way, you know what you're looking for, right?
So if you know B, you know Y. So what would it be?
Get that nose hidden. I don't want to see that thing. Okay. Now, I don't want anybody to shout it out, but if you think you have an answer, let me see a hand. So just Brian. We got 2. How about this? Who doesn't have an answer yet? Okay.
Oh, no,
Okay. So,
I have an answer.
okay.
Come on, guys.
Okay, so what's that magic number we're always going to use for these kinds of things?
180. I thought he was gonna say it again.
Answer, Johnny. There's the angle. Now, what's the angle we've got? 145. Good. So we have that here. If I do the subtraction, what am I going to get?
But how does that equal that? How does that equal that?
This
Because
here.
it's an inch the smaller angle.
So it in a quadrilateral like this is a 4-sided figure. There's 360 degrees in total. Okay. So
It's only, no, it's 180.
no, in the entire
Oh,
shape.
360.
Like,
Like,
I know.
Okay. If you add up 4 angles, you get 360 degrees. Okay. This is 145. The opposite angle here has to be the same, so it has to be 145 as well. So if I do 145 times 2, or 145 plus 145, whichever you prefer, gives me 290.
Why do we need to?
Okay, now I'm confused.
Because, well, I'm just doing another explanation as to why this works. So if I subtract that from here, that's going to give me a total of 70.
That makes
Now-
zeros.
No.
Oh, wait, and then you
Okay.
split it half.
So what that means is these 2 angles have to add together to be 70. Okay?
Why do they make us so confused?
So you
But-
divide by 2.
They're the same angle.
That gets to the answer of 35.
That makes it.
That's-
Can I say
It's
another
so
one?
much harder than what it looks like.
So,
Okay,
but that's why the math works. But to shorthand it, we say that same side angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So they have to add up to 180,
And then you
Well-
just minus it by that.
There you go.
which is why we did this here. I'm just showing you why we can do that. So
That confused me.
you can go ahead and speak. Sorry.
Well, you just said it.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
just gonna say, remember that the lines have to equal to 180. So if we start with 180, 145 is taken away. That means that the other corner has to be 35.
Because technically,
Why did-
Braden, which you weren't here for this, but if these are parallel lines, this is what we were doing in the first section, right? We had those parallel lines and all that. Technically, a parallelogram is two sets of parallel lines intersecting. We're looking at this little part here. So but it's easier to say, hey, add up to 180 than look at all 16 of those angles there.
That brings back so much memories. Tic-tac-toe.
Look at my carpet on my wall.
Okay. Any questions on this one?
No.
Okay. So this next section you aren't going to like as much because it's where we do lesson 3 with some algebra.
I've done that.
Uh,
That's 6 questions, so if we get
I'm jumping out the window. You're going.
okay, back on topic. Now, this problem right here says what is the length of side AB? AB is this bottom side here. Now, parallelograms, opposite sides are congruent, okay? And we only have to have two things to compare. So what that basically means is this 3x plus 6 here, we don't need at all. Just ignore it. It's not there.
Just like get rid of it.
Yeah, it's just extra information we do not need.
Get it.
What we do need is the 5x minus 18 and the 2x plus 12, because those are on opposite sides of the shape, and we know we can compare them. Okay, so Grayson, if it's down one more time, we're going to have some issues, okay? Okay. I try to be nice and understanding of you all. Believe me, I don't like them either, but there's limits. So, we have our two sides up here. How am I going to compare them to each other? I put an equal sign between them. Good. If they're the same length, I can say they're equal to each other. And then I have to solve for x. I can try a little bit, but no guarantees. Yeah. Please don't follow me.
Oh, yes. We love you.
Now, if y'all get distracted by car noises, I'm going to close that.
No, I think.
Looking at you, Brian.
He's like.
All right, so what do I need to do up here first? How do I got it set up? Which one?
Both of them. Minus 5 from one side, I guess. No, minus 2. That'd be.
If it takes the smaller, it'll have
So we'll subtract the 2x from both sides to make things a little easier for us, which will give us 3x here. Bring everything else down.
Which will give you -6.
Yeah, so we're going to add the 18 to both sides to get rid of it. Yeah.
5 to get you 10.
Good.
Easy work.
Boom. And so we got 10. We're done.
No.
What?
Yeah.
But I found 10.
No, you have to plug it in.
Oh,
No, it's not that.
did I plug it in there?
You plug it into both.
Plug it into either one. Plug it. It'd be easy to do the 2 and 12.
Okay, fine.
You know those things with like wheels and like.
2x plus 12. All right, so if I plug in the value of 10, everybody, let's make sure you're paying attention, please.
I like I felt the other one.
So 2 times 10 is going to give me what?
20.
And if I add that 12 to it?
32.
Good.
You're just making me more.
What's up?
Oh, we
So, Johnny, what's wrong? Where did I lose you at?
After we got 10, and then you start doing that.
So, the question says, what is the length of side AB, okay? AB is right here, and it says that it is 2x plus 12, okay? But we know what x is, right? We found x is 10, so I just do that 2x plus 12 and replace the x with a 10, and then solve. So what's wrong with that? So what's going on with that?
Okay, do you realize how we got x equals 10?
Yeah.
Okay, all you did is put 10 in place of x on this equation. So remember, if it butts up against each other, it multiplies, right? So what's 2 times 10? Tell me, 2 times 10?
What?
20 plus 12.
I don't know what we got.
Okay, use calculator. 32. So that's where we get the 32.
Let's go.
Now, if question 14 said, what is x? The answer would have been 10. But it asked for the length of AB. So that's why you're having to solve for this right here.
You had to find 10. I think
You had to find 10 in order to solve the equation.
Yeah. Now, technically, if I gave you the same problem, I could say, hey, what's CB equal to? So then you would use these two sides and find the x like normal, but then you just plug it back in there. That might be mean to you. It might be nice. You'll have to find out on the test Friday.
Okay. That sucks.
That's where it's going to be very important to make sure you look at what the question is asking for. Okay?
All right, so number 15 says, what is the measure of angle D? And angle D says that it's 2x minus 12 degrees. But I don't really know what that means.
I haven't finished the assignment from yesterday.
Oh.
It got too confusing to me, but
I'll do the same thing, but it would be with the plug them in, but then you put the equal sign at the end, put a 180.
Now, why am I going to do that, though?
it's talking facts.
It should equal to 180.
Yeah.
So he's recognizing the fact that these two angles here, they're on the same side. And same side angles are supplementary, so they add up to
180.
180. So I can write my angle down, my two angles, the 5x and the 2x plus 12. And I put the equal sign over here with 180 and a plus sign in between. Because I add my two angles, set them equal to 180. This is the unique exception where we don't just set things equal to each other. So then I have to do something a little different than the other problems as well, because my x's are both on the same side. So what's going to happen to them? Yeah, what would that give me?
7 plus 12 equals 180.
7x plus 12 equals 180. Now I'm in a little spot that's a little bit more familiar. Good. Yeah, I'll divide by 7. Yeah. Now x is going to give me,
Tired.
I think that. Somebody would double check for me. Okay. All right, so we found 24.
You probably didn't even check it. We were just eating this over.
Bro, we're literally on number 13.
So John, are we done up there?
Oh, yeah.
So we found angle D.
Plug it in.
Yeah. See, I found x, but we found our answer. This is why you got to read. Because sometimes I'm not so nice. So we have to find that measure of angle D. So the measure of angle D is supposed to be 2x plus 12. Now, what should I do? I heard somebody. Okay. Good. So, 2 times 24. What's that going to give me, Grayson? Huh? Good, 48. And if I add 12 to that, anybody? 60, good. So, the answer is 60. Now, if I ask for the measure of angle E, plug it in, and it would have been 120. Now, technically speaking, with this problem here, I could also ask for the measure of angle F. What would F be? 60, good. Now, we don't have any measures over here, but if you can find that, you can find that. I'm probably going to be nice and just use these, but it's just nice to know that we can find the others too. But, good. All right. Any questions?
On 60.
Oh.
Dang it, come on.
All right. Take a look at this. Okay, so we're on to section 5, which is lesson 4, the last one. We talked about diagonals. So if we remember, when diagonals of parallelogram intersect each other, they split each other into equal halves, or they bisect each other. Brian,
Dumb question, what's an arrow for?
what's what?
Arrow for.
Arrows. What Pisces?
Arrows? Oh, this means parallel. So this side's parallel to that side, that's parallel to that side.
The other state of country boys.
Parallelogram.
Cause, I mean, I figured they was like the, markings.
Congruency marks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, this side is the same length as that side, so I mean, it kind of works for that too. Yeah. Okay, so this one says that AE is 20, and it wants to know the length of AC. So, there's a couple ways we can go about this. At what? Where's the other 20 coming from?
Where are you guys even getting
Because,
20 from?
okay, hold up. You see the line, the two lines between A and E, the two marks? They see the same thing between E and C.
I guess I'll agree that if AE is 20, then this one has to be 20 as well. And I guess I can also agree that if we add them together, we get 40. So, you know, I'll take that.
I mean, it could, it might be wrong.
If anybody thinks he's wrong, feel free to correct him.
About what?
Exactly.
No, like, I'm being serious.
If anybody thinks he's wrong,
Okay, hang on. AE is 20. So, what is AC? No, he's right. No, it's not. No, it's not. That ain't right.
what do you think the answer is?
40. Yeah, it is, because I didn't look at the.
AE is 20, which makes this 20, which makes 20 plus 20, 40.
I thought it was said EC. Shows how much I can read, huh?
Alright, Mason, I got this one for you. So it says if DB, which is that entire diagonal, that's 18, what is DO, which is half of the diagonal?
Cheater, whoever it was,
Does
cheater.
anybody agree with that or disagree? Yeah. So if this entire diagonal is 18 and we're looking for just part of it, well, if we split 18 into 2 equal halves, how much bigger are they going to be?
I mean, equal, so it'd be nine the answer. Think nine.
9.
18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18 if you want to double check. Seems good to me. Then we got this one. So, this is a rectangle. It's a parallelogram. It just is a special one because it has right angles. Its diagonals are all the same length. So, if AE, the distance from here to here, so half of that diagonal, is 12, what is the length of BD, which is this entire diagonal here? Why 24?
Because you said everything's equal, right? AE's half, 24. And B is 2, 12. So if you add them together, it's 24, 24.
Why should I see your hand pop up for a second?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, the nice thing about rectangle lines is that all of these little parts here are all the same. So if one of them's 12, they're all 12. And if we have two of them side by side, they add up to.
I'm ready.
All right, so we're on the last section. We got 2 questions left. How y'all feeling so far?
Well, I've seen that algebra,
It's just 2. Okay. Now I'm going to warn you. This first one, it has a lot of information in there, but we don't need most of it. Okay. So this is just one of those questions where I want you to kind of look and see what you need. Now, again, also this first one I want you to try and do on your own just for a second, see how you do. Okay. So, what is the value of G? Again, on your own, just try and figure it out. This is what you got the paper for. Try and work it out if you need to.
I don't even see a G on there.
That 3G in the bottom left. Take a look at that, see if you can figure it out. Keep it to yourself, and I'll ask you about it in a second.
There's an arrow pointing to it, so that gives me.
But that just means that that line there is 3f plus 5. All right, so quick question. What information do you not need in this?
There's the 9, except for the 3G. The 3G and the 9's all you need.
Yeah, 3G and 9 is what you need.
Wait, what?
The answer's,
Well,
the
hang on.
answer's 57.
So, hey, Evan.
It's 3.
All right, so Evan, why don't you just take a look for a second, okay? Now, we have 4 different things here that we can use, right? What are we trying to find the value of? This is for Evan.
Yeah,
Oh, Tucker.
my bad.
So, Evan, what are we trying to find the value of? Huh? Yeah, G. Which means you're definitely going to need this one that has the G in it, right? Which of those other 3 am I going to need?
Supplementary.
So, I know you were we kind of kicked you out of class for a little while yesterday, which I guess wasn't the best thing, but you see how we have these diagonals going through?
Wait, who's we? You're the one that did.
Yeah, you keep cheating.
I'm trying to teach everything. So, Evan, the way these work is that these diagonals are split into equal parts. So if it's on the same line, both parts of the line have to be the same length. So what thing do you think I'm going to need to compare it to 3G? You got 3 options up here. Should I compare it to 3f plus 5? Should I compare it to 9? Don't look at me, not at them. No? Should I compare it to 4f? Okay, so if I have 3G equals 4f, how's that going to help me out? So, Evan, just to kind of help you out here, okay? So, look at this line here, okay? What is on that line? And? Yeah. So we're going to compare these two, because they're on the same line. Now, since they're on the same line, and this is a parallelogram, I can say that 3G should be equal to 9. So how do I find G? Well, if I have 3G equals 9, how do I solve for G? Huh?
Okay, by what?
We can't hear you.
Divide by what?
Evan, hi. So this is 3G, right? So this is 3 times G. What's the opposite of multiplying by 3?
Dividing by 20.
Huh? What's the opposite of multiplying? Okay, dividing. So if the opposite of multiplying by 3, sorry, the opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. So we're just undoing what's going on there. Which these will cancel out, and G will equal 3. So am I done?
Yes.
I don't want to plug it back in. Huh? No, this one G. I'm done. Now, also a little heads up. I also put the values of F in here too, and yeah. So if you solve for the wrong side for some reason, you find your answer. But if you solve for G, you're fine.
I got a question.
Yes.
Oh.
Say you was to solve for it, and you figure out that equation, okay?
Mm-hmm. You would get 5.
Yeah, okay. But wouldn't the 2 lines equal up to the same measurement? So both of the lines.
This isn't a rectangle though.
But the lines should still be the same.
Nope, that only works for rectangles and squares. Every other parallelogram has different diagonals. The short, sweet version of y is it has to have right angles in the corners for the diagonals to be the same length. Anything different gives you different lengths. I could go into details to why, but it's just easier to say it has to have right angle to be the same.
It's easier just to say no. Now shut up.
No, shut up. All right, so we have a rectangle here. So Brian, there you go. It wants us to find the value of Rn, the length of it. So from R to N, the entire diagonal. So how am I going to set this one up?
Well, you do 2x plus 4 equals 3x plus 4.
Does that sound good to everybody else?
Yeah, sure. I mean, why not?
Mason, what do you think?
You should say no.
What do you want me to write up here though?
Let me get this tattooed.
You're not listening to music back there, right?
Busted.
See that head?
Asleep.
Okay, just making sure. But yeah, so I'm going to use the 3x plus the 1 and the 2x plus the 4, and like a few of you said, some equal to each other. Now, I'll help you out with this algebra real quick, just because it's nice and easy. So 3x minus 2x is x, and now I don't know what to do. Oh, well, okay. Well, I do know. I'm just saying.
All
right.
You said you did.
There we go.
So you lied.
We done?
No.
That could be alright.
No.
But I found x.
Yeah, but you gotta plug it into the equation.
Oh, okay. So 2x
Hey, it's
plus
10. I
4.
told you it's 10, didn't I?
He said, It
was 10.
Okay. Did I find the length of Rn?
Yeah.
So from here to here is Rn?
No. Okay, so it's
Oh.
it's Cooley.
Come on.
Oh.
One half of it. That's pretty
If you would have guessed, then you would be.
Now, it's weird how you found all those answers in there, huh? It's almost like I'm very mean to you all. Yeah.
All right, let's do the test now.
Yeah, you're like me. I'm ready for it now.
Okay, I'm not going to submit that, but...
Because you don't want us to get all the right answers?
Well, no, I gave you all the right answers. No, it's because when I go do this in other classes, I have to delete my submission, all that mess. So, okay.
Understand.
Now, unless I forgot to hit that button,
You did.
it should be in the classroom for you all to give it a shot. So you all go through it, and the ones that you yourself have problems with, bring us over to you, and we'll help you with it. Okay?
That's a lot of I can statements.
Yeah, it is.
That is all the I can statements for the entire unit.
We don't have to memorize those, do we? Who gave you this again?
I care about you learning the content, not memorizing what it's about. So no, you don't have to memorize it. All right, Johnny, check out your assignment.
Billy Bob,
He's got it now.
Yeah, I actually had to leave class just because he wasn't on my schedule. Because it was supposed, but it was a thing. So because I already had swapped over, I just trusted the system, so I just went over there. I realized that later in the day, but see, is he back on there now? Yeah, he's back there. Like I said, yesterday he wasn't there, so I looked him up in the system and saw that he was in, I think, 216.
Well, yeah, he's supposed to be in my class.
Bro, come on.
There's one adjustment I wanted to make.
What were they giving me a hard time about? I didn't hear it.
Huh?
What were they giving me a hard time about?
I was getting onto them for the mess, but they was like, but this kid doesn't have hers on. I was saying, I can't say anything to you because you'd hurt me. I don't think you actually would.
If mine was off, it was just because I was on the phone or something. Our one student's back today. Can you sit on the meeting tomorrow?
As far as I'm aware.
You can even just come upstairs and just sit there and do your work. Or sit outside.
Yeah, I saw outside 5th period. yesterday.
Well, that's.
Oh, that sounds pretty good to me.
But anyways, you can't get a hold of him anyway. His number discontinued. Guardians is a constant busy. He didn't show up 3 days before, we were out for weather. And his meeting's tomorrow. So we've been dealing with that all morning.
Gotcha.
We're gonna go do a home visit today. Ed and I did him. Let me get this to